Hello, everyone. My name is David McLeod, and I am your Life Mastery Coach and best-selling lead author of the new book, Gifts of Wisdom, Practices for Healing and Empowerment, which is now available on Amazon at the link below. Welcome to my chapter reading sessions for this book, in which you get to meet each author and listen in during a personal reading of that person's entire chapter from this beautiful book. Today, my guest is Janine Savient, wise author of Chapter 9. Janine Savient is an intuitive visionary and body-heart awareness guide who helps people to find their way into their heart of pure love. Through her consultations, public talks, social media posts, writing collaborations, groups, and events, Janine shares her passion widely. Welcome, Janine. Thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Hi, David. So lovely to be here with you. Really looking forward to this time.
Right. And just so we're clear, you're off in New Zealand, so you're at a very different time zone. It's early morning for you, isn't it?
Yes, 9 a.m. in the morning. I've got a blind down, but I've got the sun coming in, so it's a 9 a.m. sun shining through the window at the moment.
Beautiful. And so, Janine, let me ask you. I'm pretty much asking everybody the same question, but I'm curious if you'd like to share a little bit about what it was about this project that attracted you, that inspired you to participate.
We're at a time right now, David, that we all realize that we're here for each other. We bring a knowing to this reality to share with each other. And when I heard about this collaboration, I could feel the deep pull in me to share a message with humanity. So this was my opportunity to be part of a platform that's going to go out globally and get a message out to as many hearts and minds as I can, along with 21 other beautiful authors. So that the pull was get the message out there. And I didn't even know to the very morning that we started writing what that message was going to be. I had something else planned, and then it was kind of taken out of my hands.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that sort of thing, and that's one of the beauties of working with these projects with the Brave Healer Productions group. We all have an opportunity to take a look within and to think about somebody we would like to share a message with and what we would like that person to hear. And I've done this many times, as you know, and it's always a surprise to me what comes out when I go through that exercise. So, even though I have an idea what I want to talk about, and maybe that's partly what comes out in the long run, the way I bring it about seems to shift from one exercise to the next. Right. So tell me a little bit about your chapter writing experience, your process, and how that all came about.
Well, because the topic changed on the very day, there was a moment of a bit of a breath in and a moment of panic as I felt myself being stretched out of my comfort zone. And I support others in stretching out of their comfort zone. But here I was, as often happens, being stretched out of my own. So the process itself has been fabulous, because we've had so many meetings, so many comings together, so many sharings of our own personal journey, our own view on life. And when we create a space as a group where we can each come in and share like that, there's so much to learn for ourselves within that. So it's not just been for me about, and I'm sure a lot of the others, about the writing of my message for humanity. What was told to me in communication right at the start, even before I knew what the journey was going to be, was, dear one, it's not about the writing of the chapter as much as it's going to be about the journey to it. And I thought, oh, I wonder what that means. Well, I didn't know at that time there was going to be fortnightly groups and so much involved. And what an opportunity for myself to grow and to learn and realize myself in so many different ways, you know. So it's been a big journey over many months, and I'm so deeply grateful to be part of this, to have had the opportunity to be part of this. And you're a brilliant facilitator, David. You're a brilliant space holder for that to happen. So I thank you. I take this opportunity to thank you.
Thank you very much for that. That's a beautiful compliment. You know, Janine, I think what I really like to do now is have you go ahead and read your chapter. So, friends, let's just take a moment, take a deep breath, and prepare ourselves, because you're gonna be hearing something really powerful and deep. So please give your full attention to Janine Savient as she reads chapter 9, Opening Inward, Living Life Through Body Presence.
My story. I noticed him immediately. He was new at school. This was his first day. He sat by himself, knees drawn up, arms folded around them, like he was hiding inside himself. My heart responded to the deep sadness I felt as I observed him. Always guided by my body-heart awareness, I walked across the playground to welcome him as this is who I am. From my earliest memory, I felt different from those around me. The reason was that I was deeply aware of life, not just physically, but also vibrationally. I did not just know myself in life. I knew life was in me. I felt it energetically in every moment. I was sensitive to the beauty and trauma of my life. As an empathic, compassionate observer, I understood all I felt was being communicated in response to my external experiences. I realized others around me didn't experience their life similarly. Life didn't appear to touch them with the depth it did me, or if it did, they seemed unable to recognize this. Because of my sensitivity, I regularly needed time to be alone, away from the noise of having 3 boisterous brothers and a very practical, down-to-earth father. I loved them dearly and understood from an early age that my choice was to join them in their boisterousness or get trampled in the rush of their lives. When I could, I did, and when I felt depleted or overwhelmed, I retreated into my still inner space. This was how I knew life for years, all in or all out of it. Unrecognized yet by me at this age, I already knew the power of presence, being still, shutting out the noise of the external world, and being inward rejuvenated me, bringing me a sense of more profound calm and self-awareness. My mother was the gentle, guiding, loving energy in the mix. And from her motherly love, I learned the lightness, love, and laughter of life. However, I always knew I wasn't a good fit with my family or this life experience. From the beginning, I saw through all the systems of this world and often questioned the reasons behind what I witnessed. The differences between me and most others were obvious in my childhood. Most appeared content living within this world, which to me made no sense. It was like I lived in a completely different reality. The teacher's duster hit me hard on the back of my head. I got caught daydreaming in class, as often happened. The thud startled me, and feeling bruised, it brought me back sharply into my body and awareness of the classroom. Ouch, that hurt. Rubbing the back of my neck where the duster connected with me, I thought, oh my God, this is so boring. How much longer before the lunch bell goes? I looked longingly through the window outside to the grassy, sun-filled playground. I wanted to run and play, journey into my imagination, and delight with the beautiful light beings that came on the rays of the sunshine. I wanted to feel the earth beneath my bare feet, climb trees, smell flowers, and be with the elemental beings whose job it was to look after the natural world. That was my world too, not this crazy regimental world of rules and regulations I felt stifled by every day. My world was a multi-layered reality, and through these layers, these inner doorways of connectedness, I felt deeply alive and learned from beautiful beings within those worlds how the frequency of love in me was the creative force within everything. Being forced to live in a world known only on the physical level by those around me was very challenging. And since no one in school ever taught us about any other level, I found it a complete waste of time. Who the heck started her off again was often the frustrated shout by the teacher, as I found something hysterically funny and laughed so hard I cried. I was a loud, proud laugher. A belly laugh was something I learned from my mother, often to my father's frustration, which just made us laugh even louder. A feeling of mischief always encouraged our shared laughter to get deeper and louder. Laughter, I found, was a perfect distraction from the tedious classroom applications. To be in joy, fun, laughter, and playfulness was my true vibrational frequency. I thrived in anything that lifted me into these higher frequencies. For me, every physical aspect of life was more about the vibrational level than the physical representation of it. Yet, I was a child, and adults knew better, apparently. There were a few of them who tried to mold me into who they thought I should be. Therefore, in my teens, I became a rebel. I had enough of being told who I ought to be and how life really was. I was told it's not your imaginary world. They taught me it was all about the real physical world. I felt empowered by stretching or breaking the rules and often did so. There were also times when I fell into deep sadness with how this world was for me, and in these heavy periods, I often felt like leaving, simply ending my life and exiting this dense reality. Over the next few years, I lost myself in many unhealthy pastimes, rebelling, pushing against life, and ignoring my deeper awareness. Eventually, however, life would spit me out again, and I would rise back into my deeper knowing, pick myself up, and for a while at least, I would remember that stillness within me, and how I could detach from the external world for a time. What a journey it was. What a roller coaster of emotions. I deepened into confusion as I grew through my teens, and self-doubt grew. No one sees or understands the real me. No one knows how I truly feel and how life is for me. Why am I so different from everyone else? These were the thoughts that often ran through my head. I also had a growing disconnection with my body. To me, my body was always cumbersome, a heavy part that kept me here in this harsh and false reality. From an early age, I knew how to leave it and fly out into far-off places that weren't a part of this world, and so I did, often. One night, while lying quietly, I received a message. You can leave this life if you want to. If you stay, you're going to have to take care of yourself, however. I had deeply neglected my body, apparently, and now it was time to learn a new level of self-care. I stayed and focused on my body and why it was so darn important. I knew I'd regret leaving before fully understanding why I had even landed here. It wasn't time to leave yet. Over the past years, I've recognized and remembered the importance of the body and what an amazing temple it is for my consciousness to play in. In recent years, I learned more about presence and being fully in my body, plus the multi-dimensional experiences offered when I take great care of my body and love it deeply. It was designed to hold magnificence, which is who we all are. As I journey from the thinking mind into my beautiful body, I realize piece by piece the truth of my magnificence and all I forgot while living in separation from that truth. What is presence? To know what presence is, you must first understand the lack of presence. Most human beings haven't realized their lack of presence in their own life. Humans have been so deeply conditioned since birth to listen outwardly, to hear who and what they are from external sources. These sources include religion, the educational and medical systems, governments, corporate marketing, or advertising, television, movie theatres, and books and magazines. Most are so conditioned that they've forgotten how to be in their body, in the moment, in silence, in stillness, with no external stimuli suggesting, inviting, or telling them who they are and what their best choices should be. Inwardly, you find a deep connection where no outer authority tells you who you are and what you should like, do, be, or feel. Deeper inner connection is where you come into the loving presence of yourself and grow your trust in your inner knowing of what feels right. A lifetime of being told what you should and shouldn't do and what is best for you programmed you into living on autopilot, often believing you're free to make your own choices while being subconsciously steered down particular avenues. This influence is so subtle yet powerful that most never realize their choices are heavily manipulated. Becoming present brings you into feeling life with your body-heart awareness through your inner authority, choosing for yourself, saying no in the face of external authority or yes if you agree. This is a somewhat controversial subject in these times. However, never has there been a more powerful opportunity to come into presence and live your life your way. This is you bringing change to a world that is so ready for it. When you begin the journey out of your head and into your body, you are becoming present. Your mind, ideas, and beliefs keep you separated from your deep, true knowing, which is found as you take the inner journey, facing yourself through truth and transparency, as the parts born from within these ideas and beliefs are acknowledged, accepted, and released. Through this inner journey, you feel a new depth of yourself, as if you are multi-layered and not simply a physical being. You feel a growing pull that calls you into stillness, silence, and what can only be described as a deepening spaciousness within you. This is your conscious awareness deepening as you come into the presence of yourself in the now moment experience. You show up in life as the deep observer. You notice the smallest things that touch you at a depth not realized before. In becoming conscious of the moment, all physical senses are tuned in. You notice, observe, and feel the moment you're present. And as you become aware that the moment has a new depth, you also notice that the depth is being realized within you as you observe yourself in that moment. You, as the observer, are observing yourself as the experiencer. In presence, your awareness is in your body, and you can feel the subtle energies as your outer and inner senses become more acute. Now, all you perceive around you is being felt within you. Your deepening awareness brings you more and more into the moment, and in presence, you feel your body as a finely tuned instrument, a radar, receiver, and antenna that receives and translates all the moment holds. In this state of being, you take in far more through deepening observation. You're acutely aware of the information, data coming into your body, and the translation of this information into feelings moving through you. That largely untapped place within you where your deepest knowing comes from is present to show you that moment in finest detail. It's as if you already knew, because you do. It takes practice to become present in your life. You're used to being led, guided, and told how your life is through your mind and by outside authority. The practice, part 1. Right now, take a deep breath into your belly. Feel your stomach and chest extend as you fill with that breath. And feel your body soften as you release the breath. Repeat this breathing, filling and releasing a few more times. Keeping your complete awareness on your breathing and body as you do so. This breathing is done comfortably for you and becomes deeper and slower as you are in it. Again, feel your body softening, tension leaving as you relax in the moment. Your eyes are open but softly gazed, your shoulders and face relaxed, and you feel peaceful but alert and aware of your body. Now, fix your soft gaze on a point in front of you. Your attention is within your body, not on the point of your gaze. Through your awareness, feel your breath expanding within you, noticing your body feeling lighter and more spacious. Keeping your eyes open and gently fixed keeps you physically in your body in this moment. Next, say with authority, "Here now," commanding your whole self to be present. Feeling a new level of acute alertness or hypersensitivity, as if more of you has now dropped in. In this practice, do not move your eyes to look around yourself, which will come later once you master being present within your body. This now is all about feeling the depth and spaciousness within you. In presence, the feeling of being physical dissolves, and you become the vibrational field itself. By this stage, your skin feels extremely sensitive. Any bare skin is hyper-alert, as if it is aware of the vibrational field touching it, as indeed it is. Be with this feeling. You may feel light, soft, and fluid. And rather than you being in your life experience, you may feel you've become the experience itself in this moment. Pure feeling. No edges, no separation, simply spacious flow and hypersensitivity. The practice right now is about you being consciously in your body and feeling it as a vibrational receiver, nothing more. The next part comes once you have feeling completely open and relaxed with this part of the practice. You may have noticed there is no place for your thinking mind within this practice. No thoughts, ideas, beliefs, or expectations enter. All those parts relate to external programming and have held you in the limiting belief that your consciousness, your physical body, and heart awareness are separate rooms within the mansion of your being. They are not. The external world taught you that your thinking mind needs to be constantly fed and stimulated to achieve your highest potential, when in fact your highest potential is realized as you move deeper into your inner awareness, whereby the possibilities and opportunities you contain in your deeper knowing open to you. Know that the further in you go, the further out into your life experience you expand, bringing you new doorways to enter and new choices on offer. This is you coming home into your deepest, greatest, most incredible truth of who and what you are as the high frequency being of pure love. Begin when you're ready to move into the next part of the practice. The practice part 2. You're fully aware now of how easily your body softens into the vibrational field, becoming one with it. You feel the vibrational flow through yourself automatically with your focus on your breathing, body, the softening of your thinking mind, and the slowing down and stillness of the moment you're in. Start softly now moving your eyes and realizing all that sight gives you. Breathe in and feel the colors. Notice the shapes and textures, and observe the movements around you, holding your awareness in your body's radar the whole time. Keep aware of the feelings moving through you as your eyes move and your inner and outer senses switch on. Again, as the observer, you feel you as the experiencer in this moment. Open into your sense of smell now. What can you smell in this moment? Register this without dwelling in thought. Is it fresh? Is it stale? Is there any smell at all? Notice and move on. Open into hearing. Listen deeply. What can you hear? Bring the sounds in and allow the vibrations of the sounds to flow through you. They will generally become one sound after a few seconds. Feel the sound in your body as pure vibration. Sometimes you may need to close your eyes briefly as you register the sounds or smells. If you feel like bringing in touch, do so. Touch deliberately, lightly, and consciously. Registering the textures, the same for taste if relevant in this moment. Presence becomes a very sensual practice. It means being fully aware of yourself in the moment in relation to the external world and your inner reality. This practice can also be done with no external influence, simply by closing your eyes and being in your body and your feelings. You allow yourself to experience a layer of reality that is often unknown until it is. With full practice, you live your life more and more from this deeper awareness, noticing that you no longer feel fully met on the level of the surface, shallow world of thought. Moving through your life in presence means experiencing yourself with your heart wide open to feeling your way, and your body open and tuned in to the subtle energies and vibrational frequencies of the external experience and internal reality. You're returning to your true nature as a feeling being rather than what you have been told you are, a thinking being. Thinking has a place, but it's secondary to feeling your way in life. Your body heart awareness always has your highest good as its outcome through all decisions made from this inner place, for this is the communication center with your highest or soul self, your direct line with source energy. This is the truth of who you are.
What a beautiful journey.
Thank you.
One of the gifts I receive by listening in during these readings is that I get to go through every practice and experience it firsthand. And I mean, that was just lovely. It really was. So I want to thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you,
I
David.
think presence is so important. And as you say in your commentary, most people have no clue what it really means. And I love the fact that you use the body as a way of bringing us into presence. I think that's very, very powerful.
The body is so forgotten about so often. I mean, I can say that from my own personal experience growing up and all through my younger years, you know, it was just something that held me here. It was something I didn't know any love for whatsoever. And it's only been in the recent years I've realized that the extraordinary sensitivity of the body. And in communication, it was said to me, we designed our own bodies to hold magnificence, and that magnificence is us. And this is the journey that we're on right now, David, is coming back into realizing ourselves as that magnificence. You know, that's a big ask for beings that have played small for eons of time to open into the realization that actually we're not just fabulous, fantastic, beautiful, and great. We are magnificent.
Right. Well, and you know, that word magnificence is a powerful word that I have really adopted in my own language. In fact, I created a website called Magnif-Essence because that's how important I think the word is. But you know, there's something here that I'm aware of. We talk about this idea of we think about the world as being external. And so we have to look within in order to get to the truth. I find that kind of ironic because here I am, this body that's relatively small in comparison to all the other things in the external world. And yet I'm going to go into it in order to get bigger. That just seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
The truth is, and what we are growing into now, what we're opening into, is that external reality is actually reflected from our internal reality. So
Right.
It's kind of like we've always been told it's a blank canvas and it shines out from within us as the master creator beings that we are. But that's largely conceptual still at the moment. We're only just starting to experience ourselves as that. So we're opening into deeper truths all the time. It's going to actually blow our minds, David,
And that's a good thing.
and blow our minds. I was just going to say, it's a very good thing to realize the truth of ourselves.
Right. Yep. I think we spend, as you said, we spend way too much time in our minds, especially with the thinking process, or what I call mentation. Thoughts are just forms of energy that happen to show up in our awareness. And it's not about, we don't think the thoughts appear, and then we think about what's appeared. We start to create more thoughts as a result. It's a wild and crazy cycle that we create with that mentation process.
Totally. That's a great word. I look on the mind as the program within us, and it's fed from the external. It's fed from out there into us, and then the thoughts create and creation becomes, and we believe in what we're experiencing, seeing, realizing. And there's so much untruth in that. Simply, there's this growing place within us that I call the spaciousness. And that is our soul self is coming more and more into being here and wishes to experience itself on a far deeper, greater, more expanded way as we move forward into what we're calling the new world. So people often talk about there's more light coming in and love's growing, and really our soul is entering more of itself into the experience here. It's going to be such an incredible world, David, when we are all so fully awake and aware to the truth of ourselves, and we live from that deeply thriving, transparent, loving place within ourselves. Imagine reality then when we are creating masterfully from that place.
What a beautiful image. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, friends, there you have it. I mean, another amazing chapter reading from another amazing author in this fantastic ensemble of terrific authors who have contributed to this fabulous book, The Gifts of Wisdom. If you haven't already purchased a copy, or if you'd like to maybe consider giving one to one of your friends or a family member, please head over to our Amazon book page, and I've included the link in the page below. And of course, if you'd like to connect with Janine Savient directly, please reach out to her on her website at https://theheartlady.net. I've dropped that link on the screen here for you as well. Thank you all for listening in. Thank you, Janine, for being here today. I hope to see you all again soon for some of the other videos in this series. I wish you love, light, and blessings on your continuing journey. See you around.